So Allah created us to be. He put in us this nafs, which we call nafs, the self, as an identity of a human being, different than an angel. An angel does not have a nafs. In the sense we identify nafs in the spiritual sense. The angels do not have a nafs in the sense we speak of it in the tazkiyah of the nafs. Why? That's why they are programmed, if you will. They are created only to obey Allah Azza wa Jal. They don't have a choice between evil and good, and to choose sometimes evil and sometimes good through striving inside of them. The fact of striving inside, it's because inside of us there are different inclinations. That's the nafs. And that's the source of the so-called freedom of choice. Freedom of choice that we oftentimes in the current modern era, we brag about. It's actually because of the nafs. If you say, I have freedom of choice, it's like you say, I have a nafs. Yes, we have a nafs. That's why we have freedom of choice. That's why we make sometimes terrible choices, terrible decisions, evil ones, because we have nafs. And so Allah created us with that nafs in order to make a choice, deliberate choice to love the divine by choice, and to love the divine and to obey the divine by that love, by choice. It's this dichotomy. It's this problem of the nafs, having the nafs ammara, and yet it is the field of the nafs that leads me to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Crossing the field of the nafs, that is the path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why last time, before I continue here, we closed with Inna Allah ashtara min al-mu'minina anfusahum wa amwalahum bi anna lahumul jannah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His divine wisdom willed that this nufus that we have, that He created with different inclinations, that we are to buy them, we are to free them, buy them and free them, buy them from their slavehood and servitude to other than the divine, buy them from being confined to the created realm, to be free in the Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ashtara min al-mu'minina anfusahum, so that I strive to align my drives, my inclinations, my emotions, whether positive or negative, including anger and high-temperedness, that I align all of those with what He loves subhanahu wa ta'ala, with what He wills subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He is not in subhanahu wa ta'ala in His essence. He is not in the creation. So He is not part of the conflicts that we feel as creatures in the creation. Is subhanahu wa ta'ala the creator of creation. And thus, when we are completely in Him, in that sense, we are completely free, because we are outside of the inconsistencies that we experience in creation. And therefore, the challenges and the difficulties and the conflicts and the opposites and the challenges, etc. Allah is outside of that. Allah is the creator of that. فَلَمَّا أَتَعَلَّقُ بِهِ, when my qalb is connected to him, I'm outside of that. Like imagine you enter a room that is filled with noise, and everybody is closed in there. And as long as you are there, you're subject to that noise. So somehow an opening opens and you go outside and the door is closed and it's all quiet. Because you're not inside. When the qalb is with Allah, the person is not in the world in terms of his qalb. And therefore protected from the negative consequences of the noise in which one is. And thus, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُم, when they belong to Allah, when they are in with Allah Azza wa Jal, they are at peace. So they are in Jannah. بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ بِأَنَّ لَهُمُ الْجَنَّةِ. And that's why when we are sometimes in sincere dhikr of Allah Azza wa Jal, it is like we pull away from the moment and from the noise, and then we attain what some of you must have experienced, that which we call طمأنينة, serenity, tranquility, peace. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب.